Rebecca, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, Miranda. How are you?
Good. So do you want to continue from where we left off last week, or is there something that you want to tell me?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
So, week's been okay. Stressful as always. I've got
Yeah.
school. Not gonna lie to you, I've been calling with people back home, and I'm a little worried.
Tell me.
I have a twin brother. I think I mentioned that.
Yeah.
He's Josh. Love him, hate him. We're pretty close, I would say. We have our share of disagreements, but he just got a new job. Not a new job. It's a new title within his current company that he's working for, but I'm a little worried. The pay is nice. I'm glad he's making good money. He's very much adjusted to this lifestyle, but I'm not sure because he's the kind of person that gets to his head, and I worry
What do you
about
mean?
him.
Sorry for interrupting.
Sure.
What do you mean gets into his head?
The whole being promoted, the ego
Okay.
thing. I worry about him because he and I are very different. Twins tend to be that way. But he calls me and he talks to me about these grandiose parties. He's like, oh, I get to basically hanging with the big dogs. You know, I'm going to these parties, living kind of the fast lane. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried because I know that that's not him. I know that he likes it. He enjoys the craziness of it.
Hi.
Hey, Ben. He enjoys the craziness of it, but I don't know, I can't help but worry that he's gonna get swept up in this. It's corporate life.
Yes.
So it comes with corporate perks, as it will, but I can definitely tell it's changing who he is. You know, he's gone from sort of informal dress shirts to tux and suit, 3-piece every day. He's really changing.
Yeah.
And as someone who's far away physically now, I'm a little worried. Well, I'm glad that he's doing so well, but
Yeah. Let's take it back a little. When you were growing up, was he always like this, or?
he definitely liked to achieve. Like when he was presented with a trophy or a medal or whatever, he liked it. He let everyone know, I did this, and he sort of basked in the spotlight, and it caused problems for him when he got older, and the learning curve was a little harder when he would go to high school and wouldn't do so well. College, he was used to being a straight A student and kind of fell off.
That must have been hard.
Yeah, and seeing that, I'm not trying to live vicariously through him, but he is my brother. He's my only brother, my only sibling.
Yeah.
So I have to worry, and I worry that it's going to consume him, because it certainly seems like it will.
Consume him in what way?
Change his entire demeanor. He's already gotten pretty snappy. When we call, he's like, Rebecca, I have to do this and that in 5 minutes, so make it quick, And that's not the way it used to be with him. I understand he's busy, I get that, but like on Saturday, I'm worried that he's not prioritizing things as well without trying to make myself stand out. Worried about his health. I don't know if he's probably drinking a lot, probably smoking cigars and all that. Again, that's his choice, not so much mine, but I can't help but worry.
Yeah, it's very common that these behavior changes should happen, and it's also common to worry. I mean, he's your family, you want him to be okay. And tell me, when you talk to him, do you talk to him about these concerns? Does he know that you worry?
I think he does. He knows that I worry on a fundamental level, just as a sister and being abroad. I have not expressed concern about the new transition, the new promotion, if you will. When he got the job, I was very, tried to be supportive and happy. I could definitely tell he was changing then, but it wasn't a drastic change, I think, because he'd been looking in the job market. He'd been prepared. This is more subtle, and and while I'm glad, sudden things, he's suddenly in the spotlight and he loves it, and I think he's going to overindulge in it. That's what I'm worried about, at least, and I just don't want anything bad to happen to him.
So just to recap, you want, with this new job and everything he's doing, you're afraid that he might be consumed by this new lifestyle and this new attitude that he seems to be taking on.
The fast lane, basically.
The fast lane, yeah.
And I'm worried that he'll burn out, that he will, do things that he regrets later. He won't prioritize family, that we don't have a lot of family members we don't have a lot of time with left, so things like that. I know he's I hope he's happy. Certainly seems happy.
Of course.
Yeah.
How often do you communicate with him?
Currently, about 3 times a week.
3 times a
given
week.
the time difference. Yeah.
Okay.
So usually early morning before he goes to work, and then sometimes on Sunday when he's not working. His weekends off.
Right.
Yeah.
So you say that you communicate with him when it's morning for him.
Right.
So that's. I mean, I'm not trying to say like, oh, that's the reason, but there's the aspect that he's hurrying and things like that.
Right.
So, I'm not saying that there's no concern in what you say, but there are also other factors. Do you know if his friends, have they expressed similar concerns? I'm trying to create a full picture.
Sure. His graduation not even a couple years, I think just 1 year ago. I did meet some of his friends. This was in Canada, and they also expressed concern about Joshua's prioritizing needs, wants, goals, and how he sort of, at least in the friends hierarchy, how he organized them. I know that he's got good friends, and a lot of them are in Canada. Some of them do travel to the U.S. quite frequently, but I mean, as far as local friends go, from high school or whatever, I don't think he's got many, at least none that he can really trust and confide in.
So, for example, it looks like he has no friends from high school. How's his support, from what you know, how's his support network then?
That's what I'm concerned about, the burnout. I think he's looking to his new colleagues, and we're talking people who have been in this business for decades. So he's looking to them to socialize, to network, and I don't know, if he's connecting well with them. If he's connecting under a false pretense, then it's exhausting him. He's very good at that, putting on a facade, being someone he isn't. Very, very good at that. And I want to know how he feels at the end of the day when he comes home and kind of has to be his true self, takes the mask off. I call him on Sundays. He's been spending more of his weekends going out, like socializing with his work colleagues and other people, dating scene, whatever in LA. So he goes out. So sometimes on Sunday I'll talk to him, but it doesn't seem as if there's a change between weekend Josh and weekday Josh. I think it's starting to become a very high strung self.
Yeah. So you said you noticed in the way that he's snappier. How does he answer in a bad manner or?
No, he definitely will. He's definitely more short-tempered. He'll cut me off instead of gently saying, "Okay, Rebecca, I need to talk about this," right? He'll just say, "I gotta change the subject," right? It's very abrupt. He tells me about the things that go down at work. He tells me about so-and-so's going through a divorce. He lets his coworkers sort of affect him as well. And then leaving his former, in a different department, leaving his former coworkers, getting to the new ones. He's talked about that a lot. Talked to me about, this guy is Mike, and he's been here 20 years, and so I'm not sure I was going with that, but he's changed a lot, and I just hope it's not too much for him.
Yeah, and have you thought about telling him about?
I have, but I'm so afraid he's gonna take it in the wrong way, and because he's been so snappy, so high strung, he doesn't have the emotional capacity to handle something, even a small suggestion. I think I suggested for him to take his clothes to the dry cleaners because there's a wrinkle and it's a nice shirt, and he was like, "I don't have time. What made you think I have the time for that?" So I was like, "Whoa, okay."
It's definitely a little more aggressive.
Yeah, and I try not to let it affect me, but it does. You can't help but be concerned. While I'm terribly proud of him.
Yeah. That's a big achievement.
Yeah.
Let's do something.
Okay.
Pretend I'm your brother, and you're calling me on the phone, and it's the morning, and I'm getting ready, and you try to tell me, what you think is going on with me.
Okay.
And correct me if you think that would be out of character or whatever.
Well, I always call him Buddy because he's my buddy. He's been my buddy since.
I'm sorry, what was his name again?
Josh. Yeah, call him Josh. So hey Josh. Now you're getting ready. I know. I should leave you alone because he likes to be left alone in the mornings, right? But
I'm busy. What do you want?
Yeah. Listen, it bothers me that you. I get that you're busy. Big promotion. Got your own little office in the corner with the view. I get that, but how are you feeling through all of this? Because this is all you do now.
I'm fine. What are you talking about? I'm fine.
Are you getting out to really talk to the people you want? You calling the folks back in New York? Have you touched base with grandma? I just want to know how you're doing holistically.
I call everyone. What does this have to do with me? What do you want?
Do you have meaningful conversations? Because it certainly seems like we haven't had any, and if I try, I've been scared to initiate them because you're on the go. I get that you're busy. I get that, but are you making time for yourself? Are you giving yourself time to breathe? Yeah.
That was good. Okay.
We're going.
Yeah. Sorry. Was that
No.
too much? So look at it from like a higher perspective. You're definitely. I see that you care.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can see that and I could be wrong. You
Mhm.
might be a little afraid.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. And it's scary. It's absolutely scary, and I get it.
Yeah.
What is the worst thing that could happen? Let's say that you call him and you have this conversation with him. What is the absolute worst thing that could happen?
I know that he's been going out to have drinks. I know that he's very fluid when it comes to social types, like social events.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried that they'll either start him on bad habits. I know he's already smoking cigars on the weekends, whatever. I'll give him that. But like drugs, the cocaine party business lifestyle, that's very much a thing in LA.
Yeah.
And I know he's with that crowd, so to speak.
Okay.
He has a really nice car. A car he's very proud of. He bought it himself. It goes really fast. I know he's been showing it off to his colleagues. I'm just worried that these there might be bad habits instilled in him, and we know how hard habits can be to break. And he's so eager to please his, like I said, his colleagues. Really wants to fit in. So I just hope he doesn't get led astray, because I know who he really is, or I have a baseline, but.
Okay. Just really quick, you said that he was also showing signs of this in childhood. How did your parents, they talk to him about it? Did they encourage the behavior? How was it in your family life?
Sure. My mother was very proud. She was that, adoring mother, loved her kids, was like, oh, good job, Joshy, I love you, you're my boy. And my father was more reserved. He said, okay, don't let it get to your head. Congratulations, but come back down to earth and more pragmatic, if you will.
Yeah.
So Joshua didn't like that. Josh wanted the A game. He wanted the spotlight, and when he got it, it was very much fast and very much enjoyed. So.
Well, this is certainly a very interesting thing that you're telling me. I think we should work on this. Tell me a little bit more about your family interactions next week, because I think that a lot of how he reacts to situations now comes back to that.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll find a way to talk to him and to figure out how to let him know that you're worried, because I think it's important. He's your brother.
Yeah, it is. Well, thanks so much, Miranda.
Thank you. See you next week.
See you next week.